Right now on 10 News at 11.
Breaking news, a boyfriend now arrested in the murder of a woman in Encinitas. 10 News is uncovering his violent past prior to the latest crime. 3 fires ignite across the county right as the red flag warning expires. We're tracking the weather conditions heading into the weekend.
I came out here in support of my Kurdish friends because Donald Trump is abandoning them.
And American veterans join San Diego's Kurdish community in solidarity. Why they say the president pulling American troops out of Syria could lead to genocide.
10 News begins with breaking news.
That breaking news, a man just arrested tonight for the murder of his girlfriend in Encinitas. She was found by detectives after a foul odor was reported coming from that home. Our 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena is live in Encinitas. Her boyfriend, we understand, has a lengthy criminal record. Lindsay.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Family and friends of Sabrina Lukowski had apparently been urging investigators to look into her boyfriend after her body was found here at the home they shared back on Tuesday. Now, she'd been missing for days before a neighbor reported a foul odor coming from behind the main house. Although authorities say her death was indeed a homicide, they haven't said exactly how she was killed. The Sheriff's Department tells us it was actually the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force who took 41-year-old Henry Simon Cowan into custody in Riverside today. Now, this is not the first time Cowan has been arrested for violent crimes. In 2010, he was arrested in Washington state, along with 2 others, for breaking into a home, tying a man to a chair, and torturing him for several hours. He pleaded guilty to assault and unlawful imprisonment and received 6 to 12 months in prison. Back out here live, Cowan is now facing a murder charge. He is being held in the Vista Detention Facility without bail. We are reporting live in Encinitas. Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Lindsay, thank you. 3 separate fires erupt right as the red flag warning was about to expire here in San Diego. Fire crews across the county, they worked quickly to make sure that they didn't get out of hand. But these don't compare to the 2 major wildfires that are burning to our north in Riverside and LA counties. Those fires have killed 2 people and burned down dozens of structures. ABC's Marcia Gonzalez begins our team coverage in one of the hardest hit communities, Porter Ranch.
Massive fires tearing through Southern California, destroying dozens of homes.
Because my house, I can see where it was from here, and it's all gone.
Santa Ana winds spreading the flames quickly as families scramble to evacuate, facing a nightmare on the roads.
The ember's now in the air above me. It's coming this way. We're going to get out.
Firefighters in Los Angeles County hosing flames creeping towards this backyard.
Without regard for their own life, they've done everything to protect us.
Reinforcements moving in.
Here comes the helicopter. We got a water drop on the way.
Officials say one man suffered a heart attack and died while trying to stop the fire from reaching his home.
We had 1 fatality from cardiac arrest of somebody who was then revived by our paramedics but died at the hospital.
And in this community in Riverside County, where more than 70 mobile homes were destroyed, police say an 89-year-old woman was killed. Police saying it started with the burning trash in that truck the driver then dumped, igniting the dry grass along the side of the road.
I was pleading with him, begging with him, don't stop here. If you already have fire coming out the top of the hopper, it's going to catch.
And those flames spread quickly because of the strong winds that are still whipping up. The red flag warnings here have now been extended, with the National Weather Service saying the extreme fire danger will now continue into Saturday evening. Marcia Gonzalez, ABC News, Porter Ranch, California.
And back here at home, flames sparked just feet from homes. A 10-acre brush fire forced evacuations in East Chula Vista. Our 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is in the neighborhood where firefighters are working into the night to make sure those flames don't reignite.
A long night here for firefighters. They will be sticking around to mop up after this fire. Many in this neighborhood say this was just too close for comfort.
Watch him, here he goes.
The firefight erupted in their backyard.
We're always in our home, but something like this, everybody comes out and everybody's talking to each other and walking back and forth and very nervous.
I'm not liking the winds. That's my issue right now. The winds is not helping.
A small brush fire sparked less than an hour before red flag conditions were expected to end, putting this neighborhood near San Miguel Mountain on edge.
Yeah, it's getting closer to the house, as you can tell.
Anytime you see a fire this close to the houses, makes you wonder whether if you need to run or
leave for the night. Several homes were given the order.
It was approximately 1 street, so They were advised to evacuate.
The fire was less than a half acre when firefighters were called out. They were on high alert, mobilizing quickly. 120 firefighters, 25 engines, 5 aircraft. The fire knocked out in about 45 minutes, lifting the evacuation order. The fire burnt through nearly 10 acres, but never reached any homes.
It was scary. I've never been through something like this.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. In Chula Vista, Anthony Pura, 10 News.
And a man who sparked a fire in Claremont was arrested tonight for a hit and run. Now, that fire broke out around 5:30 near Genesee and Boyd Avenues. Police say that a man driving a truck hit multiple cars and then just took off. The suspect then lost a tire, which then caused sparks to jump into nearby brush. That started the fire. Witnesses at a skate park captured this video of sparks flying from the truck.
He just came around the corner as fast as he could with the trailer and just up the hill with no tire. All sparks off the wheel.
Well, helicopters did drop water to put out that fire. The driver of that truck was taken into custody. And crews were called out to a third brush fire that ignited just about an hour after that one in Claremont. Sky 10 showed the flames burning near Friars Road in the 163 in Mission Valley. Those firefighters parked right above the blaze with their engine, got the water on it before it could spread. It's unclear what started the fire, but the area is known to have transients. And the winds may be dying down, but we're still seeing a lot of low humidity right now through the start of the weekend. Our weather anchor Jen De La Cruz is here. Not just out of the woods just yet, Jen.
Not just yet. Still very dry, as you mentioned. That's still going to continue several hours overnight and into tomorrow as well. Right now, dealing with humidity in the teens in Alpine, Julian, Warner Springs, just 17%. So still very dry from the coast all the way to our deserts. The red flag warning did expire for us, but up to our north where they're still battling those flames, a red flag warning continues in Los Angeles and Ventura County, and that will expire tomorrow at 6 p.m. Still a couple Santa Ana winds here in San Diego County, Warner Springs, Julian, and Alpine right now gusting at 15 miles per hour, but the rest of the county has seen a change in those winds coming from the west, and that's what we've been looking for. 57 degrees on the coast for tonight, low 50s inland. I'm tracking how long our low humidity will stick around coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jenna, you can stay on top of all the fires in our region by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available right now in the App Store. All right, we are now well into day 3 of Turkey's military offensive against Kurdish forces in Syria. The battle is turning deadly on both sides. 17 Turkish civilians have been killed. 7 are now dead on the Kurdish side. More than 100,000 on both sides have been evacuated from their homes and left to fend for themselves. This all came right after President Trump pulled thousands of U.S. troops out of Syria.
Literally by Donald Trump removing 150 troops that weren't fighting, that weren't in harm's way, he's opened the door to a genocide.
So dozens of people lined the streets of downtown today protesting the president's move to pull those troops out of Syria. Our 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live in downtown where some vets who served in Syria say this move betrays one of their biggest allies in combat. Laura.
And these veterans actually tell me that without the Kurds, Syria would have fallen to ISIS years ago. They tell me they're now getting messages from their friends in the Middle East, scared and asking for help. Thousands of miles away from Syria, Kurds in San Diego protested President Trump's move to pull U.S. troops from Syria.
America isn't abandoning the Kurds. It's Donald Trump who's abandoning the Kurds.
U.S. veterans who fought in Syria along with Kurdish fighters joined the protest. River Hag drove down from Los Angeles to support. He fought in Syria in 2016. Hag says the Kurds were crucial in their fight against ISIS.
The Kurds did all the fighting and all the dying. And that's how it worked.
And says showing up today means showing his friends back in the Middle East that they were not abandoned.
To stand in solidarity with these people, because that's what America's about. That's what the America that I love is about. That's the America that I served in the Navy for.
Since the president's announcement, Turkey has moved in, displacing thousands of people, killing dozens of Kurds and civilians.
It's really affecting, it's been like 3-4 days, like me personally, I haven't slept. And
in El Cajon, an emotional protest with loved ones worried about their families back home, glued to the daily updates on the news.
Because the image just doesn't go away.
According to the AP, one of the civilians killed was a 9-month-old baby. President Trump is now threatening sanctions against Turkey. Live in downtown, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Quite a scene there, Laura. Thank you. Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Kevin McAleenan is stepping down after 6 months on the job. He submitted his resignation to the White House today. People close to him say there was a growing disenchantment with his standing in the administration, having never formally been nominated for that job. The president praised him for his work, adding that he will be announcing the new acting secretary coming up next week. And the former ambassador to Ukraine testified behind closed doors today that President Trump pressured the State Department to remove her from her position. The State Department told Marie Yovanovitch not to appear before Congress, but facing a subpoena, she arrived at the Capitol instead. She told a congressional committee that she was removed from her post by, quote, people with clearly questionable motives, laying the blame with the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. The president told reporters today he didn't really know her.
If you remember the phone call I had with the president, the new president, he didn't speak favorably, but I just don't know her.
In the phone call with Ukraine's president that sparked the impeachment inquiry, Trump called Yovanovitch, quote, bad news, and said she was, quote, going to go through some things.